back to another video. Today, I'm going to be giving my predictions for week 16, the week ending on Christmas, and we only have 3 weeks left of the NFL regular season, including this coming week, and then we get into the playoffs and all that. So it's going to be very exciting. I feel like things are starting to come into view a bit. There's one thing I need to look up real quick as far as injury goes. Okay. That's what I needed to see. There. Okay, so here's our predictions for this week. We have no teams on a bye, so we have a full slate of games this week. And as you can see, we have some Saturday games, we have a Monday game, some Sunday games, 2 Monday games, 3 Monday games, a Thursday. So we got games all over the place coming into the end of this season. As always, I'll start the AFC, move to the interconference games, and end with the NFC. I'm just going to check the status on my... Okay. So we start the Bengals versus the Steelers. This one... I don't have strong feelings either way, but I'm going to take the Bengals here. I'm actually interested to see who the favorite is in this match. I'm just going to check the lines real quick. I'm not going to let that influence my decision, but I just want to see who's the favorite in that. Cincinnati is a 1.5 point favorite. MGM has them as a 2-point favorite. Caesars has them as a 2-point favorite. Okay, so they're the favorite anyway, but I figured they kind of might be. Bills, Chargers. Chargers going to mini bye. Hold on, I need to write this down. Bengals. Give me the Bills there. They were very impressive last week. The Chargers have been anything but. I think Herbert's still going to be out, but even if he wasn't, I mean, the team just, the vibes are bad. Staley just got fired. The team, I don't think they're going to get a new coach bump. I think Chargers right now, they're looking at a retool. Focus on next season. Try to rebuild around Herbert while you have him. Browns, Texans. No, Flacco did have a rough game last week. But CJ Stroud, what I was checking at the start of the video, CJ Stroud is still out next week. They say he is unlikely to play against the Browns. So even though they did get the win last week, the Browns coming off a win as well, I think that Browns defense, I think Flacco will do just enough, and I think the Browns are going to get the win there. I don't think that a Texans win would totally shock me, but yeah, I think I'm going to personally take the Browns. Patriots versus Broncos. I bet the Broncos last week. They ended up falling a little bit short, but they're going up against the Patriots, who at this point are just, they're kind of a tire fire in the corner during this NFL season. So I think if the Broncos lose this one, there might be some alarm bells or something, because this is one you need to win, especially given the position they're in. If they want to keep, their momentum up and not completely stumble here right at the end of the season, they need to win that one. The Raiders coming off a mini bye. Raiders with a very impressive win over the Chargers last week. Absolutely blew them out. They're facing the Chiefs on Monday. I pointed out last week in the review video, Patrick Mahomes has really struggled with interceptions this season. He's on pace to throw the most interceptions of his career. Part of me wants to say that the Raiders will upset the Chiefs. But the problem is the Chargers' defense, especially their pass defense, is so bad. And the Chiefs is very good, so I'm actually going to take the Chiefs there. I don't think Aiden O'Connell will be able to air it out against the Chiefs the way he did against the Chargers. I almost wanted to take this as my upset pick of the week, but I don't think I can lock that in. I don't think I can bring myself to do that. Commanders versus Jets. This is the game that somebody has got to win, I guess, right? I guess I'll take the Commanders. I feel like I haven't predicted them in a while. And I thought the Jets were going to pretend to get the upset last week. They got absolutely blown out. I think Simeon will probably still be playing next week. So yeah, Colts, Falcons. Colts are absolutely rolling right now. That division is super tight. You have like 3 teams tied for first place, so I think the Colts are going to be extra motivated here. The Falcons are kind of just whatever right now. So I think the Colts are going to go. They're going to be very determined to try and pull ahead from the pack. Seahawks versus Titans. I'm just going to be a homer here and pick the Seahawks currently. Given the Seahawks' position, they need to win out if they want a chance at the playoffs at all. I think the cards are still kind of stacked against us. I think the odds, like we had to win out. And in addition to the Seahawks winning out, like some other teams, like notably the Rams and some other NFC teams, they also need to like lose a decent chunk of games. So even though I could envision a world where the Titans win this one, that wouldn't be very far-fetched to me at all. I'm just going to be a homer and pick Seattle here. I think Geno Smith should be starting next week. Whether or not that's a good thing, I guess, remains to be seen, because Drew Lock did put in a really, really good performance, but we'll see. Jaguars versus Buccaneers. Now, I would take the Jaguars usually, but Baker Mayfield last week, that amazing performance by him, I feel compelled to predict the Buccaneers to get the win here. Yeah, I'm not going to bet against Baker after that performance. Now Cowboys at Dolphins. This one gets interesting. Cowboys absolutely fell apart last week. In that Bills game, their offense just came to like a screeching halt from where it had been the last few seasons. And even the defense did not look as good and as dominant as they had in the last couple of weeks. So, that's kind of a weird game for me. Maybe it was a one-off for them, but also the Dolphins came out. They seem to have gotten some of their momentum back, so I'm going to pick Miami in this matchup. Because I feel like they have a good bit of momentum right now. But I could see this game going anyway. I think this will be one of the best games this week, if not the best game this week. Actually, you know what? No, I think this right here is going to be our game of the week. This Ravens versus Niners game on Monday. This is the must-watch game on Monday. In my opinion, we have Chiefs Raiders. Yeah, that's not going to be must-watch TV. Giants Eagles, no, but Ravens Niners. Now, this is going to be my upset pick of the week. And again, this might be me making a homer pick, because this is one of the things that the Seahawks need to go their way to improve their playoff odds. But I'm going to pick the Ravens to beat the Niners. I think that's probably an upset. I have to imagine it is. That's my upset pick of the week. But if Seahawks win here and Ravens win here, I think Seattle's odds of making the playoffs, like, massively goes up. Like, if you do the math. So, I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna be a homer there. Now, NFC, Saints versus Rams. Both very impressive teams at the moment. Saints proved me wrong last week, but I picked the Rams last week, and I've hit the last handful of times I've been picking the Rams. They've been winning, but as you know what, I'm gonna keep going into my homer bag here. I'm gonna pick the Saints because if the Saints knock off the Rams here and the Niners lose and Seattle wins, that's like everything lining up perfectly for Seattle to get into the playoffs. So I'm gonna pick the Saints to win that game. Do I think it's gonna happen? Probably not. I think the Rams probably will win this game, but I'm gonna manifest this. Packers v Panthers. I predicted the Panthers would get their second win of the season last week, and they did. But I do not think the Panthers are finishing their season with 3 wins. I think they'll end with only 2 wins. And even though the Packers lost last week, it took literally what was a historic performance from Baker Mayfield to get it done. And the Packers still did look impressive even in that win, so I'm going to take the Packers to beat the Panthers. Minnesota versus Detroit. Minnesota looked much improved over their 3-0 victory over the Raiders last week, but the Lions also looked much better, and honestly I just think the Lions are the better team, so I'm going to take the Lions over the Vikings. Cardinals, Bears. Cardinals looked good against the 49ers, but the Bears have kind of been on a little bit of a thing the last month or so. They're in Chicago. This might be an upset pick, but give me the Bears right there. Justin Fields has looked more confident these last few weeks than he has at any other point in his career. And finally, the Eagles are on a 3-game losing streak, but I don't think they're going to lose to this Giants team with the amount of injuries they've had with everything else going on. I'm going to take the Eagles there. I do think the Eagles have issues, but I don't think their issues are so bad that it entails losing to the New York Giants. If they lose to the Giants, then it's really time to start sounding the alarm bells because something is terribly wrong in Philadelphia if they lose to this Giants team. So those are my predictions. I have the Bengals beating the Steelers, the Bills beating the Chargers, the Browns beating the Texans, the Broncos beating the Patriots, and the Chiefs beating the Raiders in the NFC. In our interconference games, I have the Commanders beating the Jets, the Colts beating the Falcons, the Seahawks beating the Titans, the Buccaneers beating the Jaguars, the Dolphins beating the Cowboys, and the Ravens upsetting the Niners. Fingers crossed. Also, fingers crossed, the Saints beating the Rams in the NFC. The Packers beating the Panthers, the Lions beating the Vikings, the Bears downing the Cardinals and the Eagles, defeating the New York Football Giants. So, there we go, guys. Those are my predictions for week 16 of the NFL season. Let me know in the comments down below what you think is going to happen this week, if you agree or disagree with any of these picks and why. If you liked the video, please leave a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel for more content just like this almost every single day. Till next time, guys. Bye-bye.